Why are brown people so entitled? So I've been watching, I've noticed a couple of videos over time where I see a lot of people that I would suspect might just be racist. Anyone knows me knows I'm the last one to pull the race card. So when I say racist, it has a little bit more meaning than typical, right? I know that word gets thrown around in a certain community, but that's not me. And one of the big reasons why you won't see me talking about racist this, racist that all the time is because being racist is a mindset, and I can't read minds. So unless you're actually literally using the N-word or saying things like black people are dumb or something like that, I can't know. But I can have an opinion. So I have an opinion that I see some people that seem to be like they might just be racist commenting on certain videos. The videos usually are videos where you see people with brown skin, whether medium like mine or dark brown like others. People call it black for some odd reason, historical reason. Well, we know why, but anyway. And I see these comments mocking them. And let's just give you some examples. I will hear a good amount of people talking about they can't breathe. So police chases, I think, is a good example. I've been watching a lot of those lately for some reason. And anytime the person running is a brown-skinned person, and as soon as they get caught, they start talking about my leg hurts, or I can't breathe, or don't kill me, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. You know what I mean? Like, so they get all innocent and and the worst ones will be the ones who instantly drop the race card. You know, you guys are racist, or this is just because I'm black, and all this kind of stuff. I think the reason that they do it is because, wait for it, they're human. That's it. They're human. What does it mean to be human? Humans, when put in a difficult situation, will grab onto whatever they can to save themselves. Right? If you're drowning, I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if you actually injure someone that you love and care for, because in that moment, your focus is survival. So you're grabbing around, grabbing, trying to grab a hold of anything, and your friend's next to you, but you're not paying attention to your friend. You're not focused on that. You focus on one thing, survival, right? I'm going to do whatever I have to do to survive, right? So sometimes that might end up being scratching out the eyes of someone you care about. Not that you did it intentionally, but again, you're focused singularly on saving yourself, right? So I believe that is what, oh man, let's skip this exit, just saw traffic. I believe that is the reason why, I just made a bad move. So I believe that is what we are seeing, right? We're seeing someone who is desperate. So you just ran from the cops. You're looking at felony charges. And it's more complex than that. There's a lot of different scenarios. So some of these examples may not be the best example. But I just believe, regardless of the fact there's different types of scenarios, that there are many examples where you see brown-skinned people that will start talking about racist this and race and only speak because we're black and this and that and all this kind of stuff. Now, okay, let's be a little bit more nuanced, right? There's some people who have been brainwashed. They watching stuff like, MSNBC, or they watching Dr. Rashard Ritchie. So every day it's some racist cop killing people, or some racist guy did this, some racist guy did something else, this racist woman. So it's just like every day, boom, boom, boom. If you listen to that type of content every single day, it's no different than someone watching content where it's, violent. Somebody got killed. There was a burglary here. There was a carjacking. If you're watching that every day, talk to that person who watches that every day. Talk to another person living in the same exact area who's not watching that stuff every day, and you're going to get a very different perspective. One of them is probably going to have a very fearful attitude because they've been bombarded with these images of fear and crime everywhere, right? So some people are watching content that's talking about racism. So they develop over time these filters, right, that they look at the world through. And these are racist filters, meaning they see racists everywhere, racism everywhere. Somebody does something bad to you, oh, it's because they're racist, right? Automatically you jump to that conclusion. You never even consider that person might just be a jerk, right? That doesn't cross your mind because, again, the content you're feeding your brain all the time, right? So some people, they generally do believe the cop is being racist, right? But I think there's a bunch of times where you will see brown-skinned people, and I'll tell you why it's brown-skinned people that do it, that'll be talking about racism or whatever, or trying to, oh, don't kill me or whatever, or, guys, do you see what this cop is doing? Everybody record this. Some of those people, many of them I would say, are exploiters. They are exploiting something. It starts with the survival instincts, right? So doing whatever it takes to survive, grasping at whatever you can, right? That's number one. Number two, the thing they pick is exploitation. Exploitation of the results of slavery and the racism that followed it, right? That's a real thing, a painful thing. And you got MSNBC and Dr. Rashard Ritchie and many others, all the race baiters everywhere talking about it all the time. And then there's laws that come out to, to stop discrimination or whatever. So that is something that you could potentially reach for to potentially save yourself, right? So I did something wrong. I know I was wrong, right? And I'm being held accountable. The cops got me, right? But I'm going to try to intimidate them, right? Because they don't want to get in trouble or they don't want to be accused of racism. What if the video goes viral and then they lose their job and all kind of stuff? So it's kind of like that's the thing that I can use as a defense mechanism, right? You better leave me alone or I'm gonna yell and scream and say that you're being racist, and then next thing you know you lose your job or whatever. Unfortunately, that's what many of them are doing. Many are, it's the content that they watch. They generally actually believe that, they see racism everywhere. So if you're a police officer and you're, arresting them or whatever, and it's not being done in the most perfect way, there are many that will see, well, obviously it's a racist cop and he's just being racist, right? But the rest of them, they know better. They just are grasping at whatever they can to pull themselves out of a bad situation. If I can potentially intimidate this police officer, maybe he lets me off, right? Maybe just like, okay, listen. All right, I'm gonna let you go, which is a warning, but, such and such, blah, blah, because maybe things are shaky enough and the person's being loud and aggressive enough, and you never know, it's just like, is it really worth it? So I think that's the angle some of them are pulling. It's kind of, they want to intimidate the police officer into into having that consideration. Is it really worth it? Should I just let this person go? They didn't commit a robbery or whatever it is. Maybe they were just, disorderly conduct or something like that. If it's something on that level, is it something where, you could just give them a break, right? So I think that's what it is. They're trying to intimidate the police officers. They don't really think the police officer is racist. They're just taking advantage. Now, why is it brown-skinned people doing it? Because they can, right? If we were in an African country, right, where the majority, let's say 95% of the people, dark brown skin, right, native African-born people, right, that's the majority. And then you have a minority that are pink skin, right, and because of that, because of where they are and whatever historical dynamics, they get discriminated against as the minority, right? You're a devil or this and that, whatever it is, right? They get discriminated against because they're the ones in the minority. And then over time, in this African country, they come up with laws, just like in the United States, and it's anti-discrimination laws. So if a dark-skinned officer is rough with a pink-skinned person, and that person says it's racism, and there's any way that this could actually be, they could actually build up any kind of a case, that officer could be in big trouble because there's anti-discrimination laws that will really hem them up, right? In that instance, you're going to see the same dynamic because that's human nature, right? The self-preservation. You're going to see those pink-skinned people doing the same thing. Some of them are going to screw up, get themselves in trouble, and then you're going to see the pink-skinned person, just like brown skin here, talking about, you're racist cops or whatever. You only pulling me over because I'm pink-skinned, blah, 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 blah. And if you don't think that they would do the same goddamn thing, then I would suggest to you might be racist yourself, right? Because then that means you think that somehow it's a black thing. Ain't no goddamn black thing, man. It's a human thing.